Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Global Lead Integrators and Influencers, Amazon Web Services, Tom Leszewski.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started.
Well, I think I counted about 75 times our transformation was said. So my first slide is going to be about partnership and transformation, which is the fact that DXC has over 500 people dedicated to transforming you to the cloud, doing migrations and managed services on the cloud. So what's happening in the industry today? So imagine this. Today, an S&P 500 company will last 15 years. By 2025, 75% of the companies in the S&P 500 will no longer exist. And that's because a lot of these companies are spending 2/3 of their time just trying to keep the lights on and not innovate. So what's happening in the insurance industry? We just heard from DreamWorks that data is king. You have to have data. The problem with having data is if you can't transform it, you can't manipulate it, you can't analyze it, it's worthless. We're also finding security risks, and consumers want more. They want cheaper, they want faster, they want easier, they want better. So what's Amazon? What's Amazon Web Services? So there's a fallacy in the industry that we started off with excess capacity that Amazon had. Yes, certainly Amazon.com was very, very good at running huge data centers, and we had something back then called APIs, which were web services. So therefore, we were called Amazon Web Services. So what's our history? Interestingly enough, 1994, that's when DreamWorks was started, right? So we were started at the same time as a bookstore. Jeff Bezos had a vision to be an everything store and to be more than just books and everything store, and started AWS in 2006, and which led to the Amazon Echo, which you guys probably have in your house. So we have over 90 services today. I started AWS 5 years ago. We had 15 services. We have everything from Lambda. We hear server huggers. People that love servers, well, Lambda gets rid of all those servers. We have RDS, which can run all that data, and then machine learning and Athena, which then can analyze and manipulate the data. So where are we at today? We just announced 2 new regions, one in Sweden, one in France, and another one in China as well. But we have 16 regions across the globe. That means you can do compute across the globe, 44 availability zones, which means you can do DR across the globe, and edge locations, 100 edge locations, which allows you to process data at the edge. So what are our differentiators? We work from the customer backwards. So we actually take the savings and we reduce your cost 62 times to our customers. We have over 1 million active customers. We have a huge partner ecosystem with over thousands and thousands of partners. And we also offer hybrid cloud with VMware on AWS. So we've been a leader in the Magic Quadrant for 6 years now. So 6 years we've been the leader in the information or infrastructure as a service. We also are considered the safe choice, which is interesting. We talk a lot about security, but we're now considered the safe choice. And we have more capacity than the other providers combined. So when I was getting my master's degree, there was a company called Nucor Steel, which gave away their technology. Why did they do that? Because technology is one thing. I'm going to mention technology in the next slide, but technology is just one way to be successful. There's also culture, organizations, and mechanisms that we put in place at Amazon to make us more successful. So this is a huge architecture. In the early 2000s, Amazon.com itself was actually a very monolithic architecture. We moved to something called web services, APIs, microservices, and now in production at Amazon.com, which processes a lot of transactions, we deploy every 11.6 seconds into production. We're organized by 2 pizza teams. So anytime we have a new initiative or a project, that team cannot be bigger than 2 pizzas could feed that team. And the reason why is that we can produce MVP, or minimally viable products, and innovate very, very rapidly with those small teams. So these mechanisms, we don't do PowerPoint. I have to do a PowerPoint today, sorry about that. But I wasn't going to make you read a 6-page narrative before this presentation. But when we innovate, you have to do an FAQ, working from the customer backwards, working from your client backwards. You write a press release, and you write a 6-page narrative, because presentations don't get to the point. Culture. We have 14 leadership principles. Everyone that we hire is judged by these leadership principles. It's in our DNA. I've never worked at a company before where you actually live, breathe, and make decisions every day based on leadership principles. Customer obsession, of course, innovate, invent and simplify, and of course, at the end of the day, deliver results. So we've all heard of Airbnb, Lyft, Pinterest. Airbnb, guess what? They do 100 million rooms a year with 5 people in IT. 5 people in IT. FINRA processes 75 billion transactions a day. Capital One is moving to AWS, eliminating 5 data centers, and they said they're going to be more secure in the cloud. So if you haven't seen it, DXC and AWS did a press release. DXC has a strategy of getting asset light. So using some of these innovations like Lambda, like ITO at the edge, like analytics and VMware on AWS to offer hybrid cloud as well as an asset light strategy for DXC. So here's something we did recently, and I just saw this demo. It's great. So it's all about chatbots now. I've heard someone recently say keyboard is going away, so that now you can now do an insurance quote just through an Amazon Echo device, which is very simple. And in the back end, this whole system is powered by AWS using our networking, our compute, and our storage. So how does DXC make these things happen with AWS? We provide them cash credits, so service credits. If you want to spin up and try